Hola mi gente, greetings, ¿cómo estamos? How are we? It's me, Che Alexander, la negratienesazon of Sprinkle with Sazon Apothecary and Botanica. Aries, how are you? Happy November. I'm here with your astro forecast, tarot forecast for the month of November. Really for the first half of November. I will be back because the first week of November has a lot to say. Please go follow me on Instagram at negratienesazon to get the full scope of what we can expect for the next couple of days. It's a lot going on. Tuesday, November 4th. So much high octane energy. It doesn't make any sense. Lots of this energy is being reflected or manifested in your fellow fire sign of Aries. And so if you have, in your fellow fire sign of Sagittarius. So Aries, if you have prominent Sagittarian placements, please pay attention to your chart. Where are these spaces being lit up? Mercury, Mars, also Scorpio and Taurus. Very hot, high octane energy. So if you have prominent Taurus and Scorpio placements, this is an important time for you. Now, on Wednesday, November 5th, there is a super full moon in the sign of Taurus, my sun sign, and it is asking us to reflect and review some of the things, the choices, the habits, the experiences that we have had since 2018. Right? We are coming into the final end of that review, looking at these last 7 years and how the world has shifted for us personally. Now that moon is asking all of us to do inventory on how we are showing up and pleasing ourselves. How can the things that we give our energy to create an environment of peace and stability for us to forge forward so that there is joy, thus creating sustainability in all the things that we do to create our world. Now for you also, Aries, prominent dates to pay attention to, similar to Pisces, because there's an even exchange happening here. So like I said, Wednesday the 5th is the full moon in Taurus. Then on the 10th, on Monday the 10th, Neptune retrograde ends, and Neptune will leave your sign and go back home into Pisces. This is beautiful for us because Neptune kind of sauntered into Aries and disrupted your flow a little bit, right? You and Pisces in particular, but for you, there was some added delusion right, during this transit, asking you to really look at what veil has been thrown over me in a particular area of my life, in a particular relationship. Aries, where have you stayed too long? Saturn also being in your sign is going to come back direct to you on the 27th, so toward the end of the month. It went retrograde on September 1st back into Pisces. Now it's coming back where it's going to station in the sign of Aries for the next couple of years. So when Saturn comes back around toward the end of the month, you're going to get twice the hard-hitting answers and clarity about where have you been confusing loyalty for love or honor. Where have you diminished your own integrity to show up and prove something to someone or somebody or some institution or some entity that may not necessarily have been reciprocating the same for you or reciprocating in the same way, right? And then again, where have you stayed too long? Have you confused your loyalty for years of time and history? And so now you've been at this job for 15 years. Yes, the benefits are good. Yes, you can do almost anything that you want. You can come and go as you please, but are you growing in any way? Right? Is there any potential for you to really grow here? Or are you being complacent and complicit just because it is stable and comfortable? So there's a lot more clarity coming to you where, again, you've been confusing some of these words and terms that you live by, defining yourself by a definition of loyalty that does not exist for the other person or the other party. So you're going to have to think about some of those things as we trudge through November. But what else does Aries need to pay attention to at this time? Spirit, holy angels. We ask that only spirits of light enter into this space. Gracias a la misericordia de todos los espíritus santos y todos los espíritus buenos. What are the messages, the highlights, the information that needs to come through for the Aries collective at this time? And we ask that anything that does not wish us well be returned to sender. And always, always. Amen. 8 of Wands in reverse, 7 Pentacles in reverse, and Queen of Wands in reverse. So Queen of Wands, this is your energy. Oh my God. This is your energy, Aries. This is Aries energy. I was trying to say both of those at the same time. 7 of Pentacles and 8 of Wands in reverse also. So where you've been pouring your light, pouring your energy into something, trying to wait and watch it grow. You see this 7 of Pentacles? He's just there, watching paint dry, watching water boil, sitting in front of the door of the microwave, like, is it ready yet? Watching the popcorn pop. When you have to give some things space to grow, you have to give some things air to breathe, you have to give less, right? Pull your energy back in order to watch it grow. And other things you have to realize you've been watering and they will never grow. And I feel like that's where you are right now, Aries. 8 of Wands in reverse with this Queen of Wands. Wherever you have been lighting these fires, lighting these torches here, it's taking away from your flame. You got a lot of light. You got a lot of fire, which is why before you never felt like lighting flames could bother you. And we say that in spirituality all the time. When people are gatekeeping or trying to be harmful, intentionally not helping people out, we're like, you can always light another candle from your flame, right? And that is true. But in this instance, Aries, it feels like you really are giving away your light. It feels like this light feels extinguishable. It feels exhaustible because you're giving the light of your soul, the light of your spirit. 4 of Wands, 7 of Cups in reverse. Wow. Clarify the 4. Wow. 8 of Cups, Hierophant, and Ace of Swords in reverse. Ace of Swords is the only one in reverse. Okay, so a marriage is being highlighted. Obviously, this is general. It's not going to apply to everyone. But I am seeing, Aries, for those of you in union, those of you who have been in union, or those of you who are contemplating, considering unionizing. You're either considering divorce or considering marriage. This feels like you know the answer. And, you know, I'm not one of those readers who are like, oh, the cards say do this, and so that's what you better do, right? You need to consult with your spirit, your own energy, your own intuition. You need to consult your ancestors. If you have personal spiritualists that you confer with, it's time to go and get a reading, Aries, just to make sure that that spirit is sanctioning these decisions that you're making. But I do feel very deeply, Aries, that some of you know that you've made a grave mistake by saying yes to marry this person or by recently getting married. Others of you know that your marriage or long-term relationship is coming to an end. I don't think that just because there's cards, then you need to go and get a divorce. You have children, you have assets, there's all these things to consider. But I feel very strongly in a romantic relationship, romantic binding here, Aries, you are being told to move in the opposite direction, to walk away, to pack your shit and go. This thing has lasted for too long. You've been here for too long. And again, like I said earlier, like the astrology is pointing to later in the month, you're going to have a hardcore conversation with yourself about, has this been loyalty, or has this just been me riding and dying and I'm the only one dying in this motherfucker? That's what it feels like. Pouring into things that cannot grow. Knight of Swords, 7 of Wands. This is betrayal energy. 8 of Pentacles with the 6 of Pentacles. This says that if you want this relationship to thrive or to grow, to feel more beneficially reciprocal, then there needs to be significant work done. That there needs to be difficult conversations. You need to talk about what that could look like and then put the work in. Your partner, your teammate, the person that you're with, your lover, your spouse, or in a different environment, your colleague, your boss, your administrator, your supervisor, they need to hear from you in a different way, and they need to understand what you're really saying. Because I feel like y'all are talking, but your point is being missed. You're saying like, I need this, 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 and that, but they're missing the point where you're saying this is not reciprocal. They just hear you nagging, yapping, but they don't hear you saying, this is, I don't feel like I'm being reciprocated. I need what I'm giving to you. So some of you need to sit as these transits happen around you. Mercury moving into Sagittarius, Mars moving into Sagittarius. Some of you need to let that light your fire, and get passionate about the things that matter to you, and then fix your mouth and fix your words to say it differently so it can hit differently. And others of you need that fire to light the fire under your ass so you can get up and walk away. You'll know what fits for you when you hear this. Shaman, trust in higher forces. Like I said, take it to God, take it to your ancestors. The Hierophant is here. Take it to your spiritualist. Go and get a reading. I said that, right? Summer, bask in joy and light. Find your peace again. Your peace is not contingent on someone else's understanding of what you think loyalty is. You think that sitting here, riding and dying and being by your side is loyalty. They see it a different way. They see abusing and using you as loyalty. There's a disconnect here. Stand your ground on what you see loyalty as. Don't switch that up and don't change it, but don't give it to them either. Lastly, for Aries. Whoa. One more for Aries. Get me out of here. They gave me 2. Night, be brave and honest. I just said that shit. And last but not least, winter, take care of your needs. If this is not it, and this, again, loyalty does not feel reciprocated, you feel drained, you're giving away yourself, you cannot thrive in this Queen of Wands energy. Instead, it feels like your light is constantly being extinguished. This cannot be the person for you. This cannot be the job for you. This cannot be the environment for you. You got to do differently. You got to move on. I hope that was helpful for you, Aries. I love you. Happy November. Happy Scorpio season. If you don't know where your elemental placements are, please come and join the Elemental Equilibrium course. I'm going to share more about registration for that soon. Go follow me on Instagram, negratienesazon. And like, comment, share, subscribe in the comment section here. Please do me a favor. Put a little green heart if this made sense, if you connected with this, if you stayed to the end. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Peace.